yet. Depends on when you can hear me. Howdy, folks. We're having issues. Surprise, surprise.
Yes, our life is a corn album. What is CNA stream without any kind of issues happening?
Oh, well, you heard that on time, so I'm guessing neither one of us is lagging now. But I'm getting feedback, and I don't know if it's from me or you.
It has to be from you because all my devices are muted.
Hold on. Yep, maybe it fixed itself because I don't hear it now.
Okay.
So, first bit of thing I just want to get out. Do you subscribe to Comic Storian on YouTube?
No.
Well, I do. I listen to his stuff because he does recaps of comic books and stuff. And it's stuff that, I don't always get around to reading because I don't have the time or money to read comic books. So I like listening to him do these massive recaps of like year or 2 year long storylines. Well, apparently he passed away on Monday. He died in a car accident.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. From what they've said, from what the police report says, no drugs or alcohol was involved. He wasn't speeding, but for some reason he lost control and his car rolled over a bunch of times. And even though he was wearing a seatbelt, he didn't survive. Which could just goes to show you, you could do everything right and still fuck up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had like 3 million subscribers. And yeah, and I saw a lot of the stuff people were posting on Twitter about it, and even Marvel and DC tweeted about it. And they were some of his harshest critics because they didn't like him doing it half the time, They made him edit a lot of his stuff because they wanted people to go out and buy the stuff, but they still, send out condolences to his family, which was really nice.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about that. I don't know who the guy was. Sorry.
Well, he's not in the YouTube stuff that you're not a big comic book guy, I assume.
No.
So
now, if I basically need any comic book information, the go-to person is, unfortunately, I got to say this, Darren. That man is a savant when it comes to comic books. If I need to know anything about comic books, I ask Darren. That's the only thing I ask him about.
Yeah, but I still like listening in when I'm working because I have to listen to something while I'm working. Otherwise, the ambiance of the stores I work in drive me crazy.
The sound of the Wally World.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Earlier this week, I was training somebody, and the project we were working on was going to take about 4 hours. And Walmart happened to be playing the Sonic the Hedgehog movie.
Oh, fun.
And
break time.
Well, the thing is, we're listening to the end of the movie. It starts up again. We listen to the entirety of the movie because the movie's only like 90 minutes or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then then we're listening to it a third time and it plays all the way through. And then we're listening to the beginning by the time we're done. By the time we're done, I was so sick and tired of Sonic the Hedgehog, I wanted to, smash my copy of Sonic 3 for Sega Genesis.
I take it you haven't seen the show Knuckles?
No, I have not seen the show Knuckles. I don't really watch a lot of the Sonic stuff lately. I didn't like the Knuckles redesign when they did Sonic Boom. Basically turning him into something, twice the size of Sonic the Hedgehog. Built like Andre the Giant. Yeah.
Idris does a great Knuckles. I mean, the show is basically, it's like, it takes off right from the movie. I'm like, this is basically Sonic without Sonic. I liked it. I liked it.
Maybe I'll give it a shot then. Stupidly, I decided I was gonna try to watch. I was gonna watch Star Wars Acolyte, but I never got around to it because, well, I don't actually have Disney Plus, so trying to watch it on other people's Disney's account was being a pain in my ass.
I have
basically,
not got to the last episode.
Yeah, remember the issues I was telling you about with my internet, with the difference between 5G and 4G signals?
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I tried to watch Star Wars Acolyte, it would that 4G or that 5G signal thing would happen, and I wouldn't be able to watch it because it would just pause like every 5 seconds, and it was annoying as all fuck.
Yeah, that's what it's like me trying to watch something on YouTube on my computer.
So instead, my new roommate has Paramount Plus, so I decided I was going to watch the new Stargate Discovery episodes or season 5 because I haven't seen it. But then I'm like, you know what? I haven't really watched Discovery since it originally came out. I want to do a recap, and I'm going to rewatch Star Trek Discovery minus the first 2 seasons because I couldn't stand those seasons. So I'm starting with season 3.
I was going to say, you want to start with season 3. Skip 1 and 2.
Yep. That's exactly what I did. And I think I've kind of realized something when it comes to the designs of the 21st century ships. And we got both people here. Hold on. We got Caddy and we got NB.
Hi.
Hey, yes, I am.
Hi, Bob.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Hi, Bob.
I have been up for all of 15 minutes. I have ate a breakfast jack and drank half a can of Pepsi. I am wonderful.
Wow, you slept in today.
Must be nice to be young.
Ow, what the hell?
Sorry, I'm at the park.
Oh.
Because I like doing this from the park because I get to, nice views, nice breezes, shade, that kind of stuff.
Well, if you have to park with binoculars and you have to be bird watching, hey, that's a good thing because that guy who got yelled at for claiming being a spy, who's actually bird watching, he won an Emmy for a bird watching show on National Geographic now.
Really?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I know. In case you guys haven't heard about that, yeah, the guy got an Emmy for his bird show on National Geographic. Fucking
So
kid.
I have a question. I know.
All right, go ahead. But I do have a thought I want to finish. But go ahead.
Nah, go ahead and finish your thought.
Okay, when I was telling everybody I'm rewatching Star Trek Discovery, starting with season 3 because I want to watch. I haven't seen season 5 yet, and I just want to watch it. But I want to recap, Discovery. But again, we're going to rewatch seasons 1 and 2 because they were really bad. So I'm looking at the Starfleet ship designs from what is it? The 29th century, or the 32nd century, something like that. Whatever.
31st.
And you know how there were a lot of complaints about them when Discovery season 3 first aired. Does anyone else remember those complaints about how the ships were bland, how there was no features, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah,
I mostly remember how the Klingons were butchered, and how.
Well, I'm talking about season 3 of Discovery, not seasons 1 or 2.
Oh, that's way past. I was long gone by then, so I don't know.
Well, I just remember seeing on Twitter and Facebook a lot of people were complaining about those ship designs because they were, all smooth. They didn't have any features. A lot of them, like you said, don't even have windows. And I got to looking at them, and I was comparing a lot of those designs to basically TOS, the Constitution. And to me, they kind of the new 32nd century designs very much fit with Matt Jeffrey's original intentions, it seems.
I'm just glad they flipped the Constitution upside down.
Well, what I mean is, he said that he didn't think that there should be a lot of excess detail on the models for the Enterprise ship because everything should be able to be accessed from inside the ship. You don't want to have to go outside the ship to fix anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And 2, he wanted the nacelles on those struts originally because he figured they were dangerous. They produced some sort of radiation, and you wanted them to be as far away from the ship as possible.
Makes sense.
And Discovery has kind of taken that to the logical extreme. Most of the ships are incredibly smooth. They don't have those vulnerable points, and the few vulnerable points that the Connie had, like the deflector or the not the deflector dish because it wasn't a deflector at the time, the communications dish, and the original tips of the Bassard collectors, those are gone even in later episodes of TOS. But everything is now smooth. It's and the nacelles themselves are detached. They're held together by magnets. How do they work?
And look at Book's ship. The Book ship. His ship basically tears apart and reassembles itself.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite. But
yeah,
the Starfleet ships have that aesthetic that I think Matt Jeffries would have appreciated.
Yeah, but isn't that whole detached thing what the Prometheus did? Wasn't the Prometheus class that type to do it?
No, it just separated into 3 different vessels. This for one of the main things on these new ships is all the nacelles are literally detached from the main hull of the ship and held together by like invisible tractor beam type stuff.
Electromagnetic.
Yeah.
Like fire doors.
Okay.
They literally just float like alongside the ship.
Okay.
And to me, that I think honestly, Matt Jeffries would have approved.
Possibly. Do you know
I'm not saying all the designs look pretty, but I'm saying that I think just the original creator of the Enterprise, of Star Trek ships, would be like, yeah, that's how I would imagine future tech being.
Do you know how the term Jeffries tubes came about?
Yeah, they were named after Matt Jeffries.
Yes, but it actually happened in TOS, but it was actually an inside joke. It was an inside joke.
Because the tube that Scotty always went into?
Yeah. No, I mean, the whole thing was an inside joke. Somebody made a plate that said Jeffries tube. Because
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the one who designed, his designing and stuff was so instrumental that at one point somebody just did it as a joke and put up a sign that said Jeffries tube. Now, obviously, we didn't hear that term till TOS, but that's how it started. It was an inside joke that went.
I'm not complaining. I think it works in universe.
I do, too. That's why they call them, it's like you always wonder, why they call them Jeffries tubes. It's like, oh, that's right. Now you know.
And Caddy's being all quiet because she's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Caddy only knows about Bonnie and Clyde.
Did not mention the names Clonny or Bod yet. I'm quiet.
Actually, fun fact, what I've been sitting here doing is being like, I should commission either Raven or Tori to draw me a Bonnie and Clyde inspired profile pic of like me and like my boyfriend's OCs, so I can use that as my profile pic instead of using straight up Bonnie and Clyde.
I'm surprised you don't have a Jeremy as your profile pic.
Yeah, but her boyfriend has to look like that Broadway star. She's in love.
Yeah, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Jeremy fucking Jordan. It's Jeremy fucking Jordan. Get it right. Get his full name correctly.
Hey, man, I can't remember everything. So I haven't watched The Acolytes, but I saw enough about the 3rd episode, and I'm thinking, oh my God.
I have not seen the 3rd one yet, dude.
Yeah, I haven't got around to watching it. I know I said I was going to, but it was just that Disney Plus, because I'm leeching off of a friend's account, was just having too many issues every time I tried to watch it.
Dad, do you want me to try to get you in contact with my newest Disney Plus account because I have a new one?
Maybe because Justin's is not working for on my phone. Every time my phone dips to a 5G or remains at a 5G signal, it only seems to work when when my phone drops to a 4G signal, and it's weird as all fuck, and I don't know why.
Weird.
Mike, after this stream, I'll hook you up. Okay.
Yeah, basically this one from every review. This was
funny. Hold on. Elihu, I just got a notification you went live.
Really? I still haven't got a notification you went live yet.
I never get a notification when somebody goes live. It's ridiculous.
Well, make sure you hit the bell and select all notifications.
I do. Doesn't mean it helps.
Yeah, I know. YouTube's weird like that. I haven't got a notification for one of Bird's streams in so long, despite the fact that,
So I heard about the Acolyte episode 3, and I'm like, oh my Lord.
Awesome, I can turn my brain off again.
Talk about ripping Star Wars canon to hell. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah. And I find it so funny when I hear them say, oh, well, they go back to the well. Well, it's a toxic fans. It's toxic fans. It's like, nobody's watching your show. Not the normies, not the Star Wars fans. The only people who are watching it are I don't know who. But when you sit there and say, oh, over 5 days, Acolytes episode 1 got 4 million views. That's worldwide. That's not good.
Yeah, there's 300 million in the U.S. alone. Come on.
We have 370 million people in this country alone.
I estimated, dude.
Yeah. But, I mean, we used to have...
Actually, I think we have closer to 330 million.
Nah, we have 370.
No, because every time I put in 350, someone corrects me and tells me you have less.
Okay,
quick,
not according to the last U.S. Census Bureau.
Okay, 3 to 350 million.
Anyway, the point of the matter is, when we used to do the Nelson ratings,
oh yeah,
that was per household, and that was only the American audience. Now Nelson is doing the streaming ratings, and the numbers just aren't there.
It's actually Nielsen ratings. The Nielsen ratings are basically one house per like every 5-10 blocks. It represents the neighborhood. It wasn't every single person. It was like randomly selected.
Even then, when it comes to modern TV habits, it's not necessarily a good indicator because people stream stuff in their own time now. They don't have to watch it when it first comes out. As I said, I'm going to end up watching Star Wars Acolyte. I'm going to watch every episode, but I haven't done it yet because I don't feel the need to. Same with Star Trek Discovery. I hadn't had the need to watch season 5, but now I want to.
I watched the first episode of The Acolyte. I made it through about halfway, and dude, I'm just going to tell you, it's boring. It is boring. It is bland. It is generic. The writing is bad. The acting is bad. There is just nothing there. Okay, you want to say this was agenda driven? Fine. Okay, I don't give a shit. Okay, I understand that. Now listen, I don't care if the actors don't know the lore. I understand that. I'm not expecting every actor to be an expert in the lore. But I mean, the acting is bland. The sets, nothing. First off, they go to a dirty planet. There's nothing dirty. All right. So I'm going to give you a little spoiler about episode 3. Sorry,
No.
I got to do this.
River Song Philosophy. I'm muting and get some more coffee.
Now, I'm saying the whole thing is they ruin the whole point of the Chosen One because the space witches I don't know why they call them space witches. They're on a goddamn planet.
Yes, I know
So,
they're in space.
I don't know. They're not Night Sisters. That's all I know. They're witches, but they're not Night Sisters. And the galaxy doesn't like them for reasons. We don't know why. They just don't. Makes no sense.
Galaxy
The two female witches, they all get together. Their coven gets together. They do this weird ass ritual, and the female witch impregnates using the Force her Zabrak lover, and her Zabrak lover gives birth to two female humans. How? Fuck if I know. But apparently they know how to use the Force to create life, which is bullshit.
Are you done with spoilers yet?
No, this is bullshit. 8 years later, they're 8 years old. The Jedi somehow show up. Why are the Jedi outside the Republic? I don't know. But they show up, they test these two kids, and they're like, oh, one wants to become a Jedi because reasons. She wants to leave the planet and explore. She doesn't know anything about the Jedi. At least Anakin knew about the Jedi. But she wants to go. Her sister gets mad, and her sister's a psychopath. So her sister literally says, I can kill you, locks her in a room, starts lighting fires, and burns down an entire fucking coven in a mountain made of stone. And all the witches die. And somehow this is the Jedi's fault. Oh, and yeah, apparently manipulating the midichlorians to create life in the Force ain't as hard as people thought, because they did it 93 years before Anakin was born. Give me fucking...
So they rewrote the whole thing. It's not Saul's fault that the whole entire Jedi are the bad guys. It's this girl's fault.
No, the whole premise is to make the Jedi out to be the bad guys.
They are the bad guys.
They were the bad guys in Revenge of the Sith. Yes,
no, they were the bad guys because when the Empire came, they was the one the terrorists. They're the terrorist organization that stopped them. Everything was peaceful until the Jedi intervened.
Yes, I agree, and that was the problem with the Russo formation.
Yeah, the Jedi are the bad guys.
The Jedi became part of politics. That's when they should not have been. The biggest mistake was in Attack of the Clones when they said, we are keepers of the peace, not soldiers. Now you have in this one, it's like, well, if this happens, our political enemies. You're supposed to be apolitical. You're a religious organization.
It's the Knights Templar all over again. They became political, and all of a sudden, they're the enemies.
No, I agree with that aspect of it. What I don't agree with is, why are this woman is supposedly seeking revenge for the death of her family when she's the one who caused it? She had a fucking
deflection. I mean, I haven't seen it, but that's an easy answer. She doesn't want to blame herself, so she blames anything else that was present that she couldn't control at the time.
Also, here's the other thing. They're 8 years fucking old. The Jedi wouldn't train them. Anakin was 9 and he was the fucking chosen one. And the council said he couldn't be trained.
Too old. That's what Samuel Jackson's character said. Too old.
Yeah, exactly. So why would the Jedi suddenly say? Because at this point, Yoda and Yaddle are already on the council. That much I know for certain. In this time frame, Yoda is already on the council. Yaddle is on the council. Maybe not, but she is a Jedi Master because there were, I know, several permanent seats. I know 3 that were certain. There was Mace Windu, Yoda, and Ki-Adi-Mundi. Those were 3 permanent Jedi positions on the council. The rest of the council rotated around. I think there might have been more permanent seats, but I'm not 100% sure. But I do know Yato was on the council very early on, so she might have had a permanent seat. But this whole thing is they're too old. That was the whole point of Anakin. But all of a sudden, this guy takes this girl on to be a Padawan as a guilt trip, and everybody.
Hold on. In the new Disney canon, when do they establish the rule that 9-ish is too old?
The establishment is they need to be bought. They need to be brought to the Jedi before they reach the age of attachment.
Okay, but when is that rule established in the current Disney canon?
I don't know. That's the point.
Well, what if they end up being that this is the explanation behind it? Would you accept it?
No.
Why?
Because it had been established for 1,000 years already.
How do you know it was established for 1,000 years? They don't say that.
The Rusan Reformation.
Remember, that's no longer canon. Other than the part about the Star Destroyers, that's not canon.
It's never actually mentioned, just like in Star Trek, the Prime Directive never actually mentioned what exactly it says. It just hints at the Prime Directive. It's like the Star Wars, it's like the Padawans. They hint at how young they can be. They hint at how the age limits. It's never actually said in canon what the capped age limit is.
I would say, well, they mostly, okay, we can get an idea from what Qui-Gon said in The Phantom Menace. If he had been found in the Republic, he would have been trained as a Jedi. So the Jedi go out in the Republic and they get them when they're young, like infants or toddlers, something like that, before they reach the age of probably, if I was going to guess, and I'm speculating here, I'd say before the age of 5.
Kindergarten.
Yeah. All right, well, I will add something to that in a sec, but Caddy wanted to say something earlier. Caddy?
Oh, no, I was just agreeing with what you guys were saying.
Oh, okay.
It's nerd talk. It's not Bonnie and Clyde. That's why she's quiet.
Actually,
Okay,
I really
well-
like Star Wars. I just don't have anything to say.
Well, NB, I disagree with the whole before the age of 5 bit because, well, different species mature at different ages according to Star Wars. I mean, just look at Baby Yoda.
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because you look at Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda is about 50 at this time, but Baby Yoda is still kind of in the toddler phase.
When he died?
Well, what I was thinking is maybe Yoda species, it's a decade to a year. So Baby Yoda was probably about 5 years old by the time, by mental standards.
Yeah, but Yoda was about 800 when he died.
No, he was 900. So he
900, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
he was at least 900.
Yeah, he said 900. So I would say, yeah, he was about, by human standards, 90 years old. You gotta play that into place. So let's say Baby Yoda needs 100, 200 years to fully mature. I mean, it would make sense if we're going that route.
I don't disagree. But then you also have species like, I don't know. What's the one that only lives for like 20 to 50 years? According to, there was one in Star Wars that was like that.
Oh, there's.
And I can't remember. But yeah, so what was that? Is that one when they're only 6 months old? They're suddenly too old?
No,
then there'd be no Jedi for them.
Yeah, there's plenty of species where that happens. So yeah, I mean, obviously, birth rates are subjective. So, I mean, I understand where you're coming from there, absolutely. But we do know Baby Yoda was already in the middle of training before the Jedi Order fell.
Yeah. I would suggest that they base it on maturity, not necessarily age, but due to limitations on speech, they just say too old.
Well, I was going with the whole thing with the Jedi being about attachment issues. So,
and I would agree with you. And he had already shown attachment to his mom.
Yeah,
attachments were basically okay during the golden age of the Republic. They just became forbidden afterwards.
Yeah.
So I would say that the too old is more of an excuse.
Yeah.
Without having to explain, it's actually because you already have formed too strong of connections to your parents or your doll or your friends or your siblings.
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. That makes total sense.
So if those 8-year-olds hadn't, hold on. So I'm just playing devil's advocate because I haven't seen it. I would say it's possible that the 8-year-old you're talking about hadn't formed those attachments yet, which is why she wasn't as crazy as her sister.
Sorry,
What about a 10-year-old orphan?
Sorry, all I can think is the idea of the Jedi Order pulling out this big book of like all different alien ages and being like, "Yes, let me flip through the pages." No, you're too old. Sorry, but that one's fine.
Oh no,
I could actually see that. All right, I'm gonna go Geloja.
No, now I'm just imagining. A lone Jedi engineer develops. Oh, I created this app. You just put in the species name, how old they are, and all this stuff, and that'll tell you if they're too old or not. Oh, and this, and the app would include like, oh, this planet actually travels this fast around its sun, so their time dilation field is this, or time dilation is this much. So we're going to factor that in. So even though this one's 8 and this one's 9, the 9-year-old is still not too old, but the 8-year-old is too old.
Hang on a second, I gotta do something real fast. I gotta troll Pauly Shore on Twitter. Hang on.
Again, I just thought that was incredibly funny in my head because I was just imagining not even an app, just this big old book. It's like you bring these children to the Jedi Council. They wish to be Jedi. The Jedi look at them. They reach under their desk. Thunk.
Well, judging by how many species we know of that exist in the Star Wars universe, that book could be really big.
Exactly. It was just the idea of this extremely oversized book.
I wonder if that was one of the books that Luke Skywalker or Rey Skywalker was able to save at the end of the movie. It's actually it's not a book of ancient Jedi techniques or their history. It's just the age of consent or whatever to become a Jedi for all different species.
Please don't bring up Rey. Please don't refer to Rey as a Skywalker.
Well, in respect for the month, I'm going to respect her name that she gives herself.
Okay. Lord have mercy.
Again, I think it's funny. Just the idea of you sitting, you're awaiting to be told if you can become a Jedi or not. And instead of them just looking at you and be like, no, you are too old. It's just they reach under their desk and pull out this giant fucking book.
Oh, and it's got an awesome name like the Book of Ages.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
No, what I find hilarious is all the, the standard stuff that came out. Okay, this show took 4 years to make, cost $180 million for 8 30-minute episodes.
Really, Godzilla -1 only cost $15 million in special effects.
I'm actually surprised. I'm actually glad you mentioned that transition. Elihu finally got to see Godzilla -1.
Yeah, you loved it, didn't you? 7 minutes into it, you're like, holy shit!
Oh my God in heaven, did I love it? Oh
Yes.
my God, I loved it. That
I'm-
was the best Godzilla movie ever.
Dude, I'm watching. I'm like, okay, yeah, they're gonna do a little story here, and all of a sudden, holy shit! What the fuck? The attack? What the hell did this come from? I love that.
Sorry,
No,
all
I
I'm
love
thinking
it. No, I love, you know what I love? I love the acting. I mean,
There was a good human element.
I mean, the acting from these actors was top notch. His PTSD, what he was doing, you know, that fear and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it was palpable. The tension was there. You didn't know if somebody was going to live or not.
again, every time I hear about Godzilla, my brain just goes back to the fact that the only thing I know about Godzilla is vaguely pop cultural based, and it's mainly TikTok, of which everyone on TikTok has collectively decided to refer to Mothra as Godzilla's wife.
Okay, if anything with Godzilla and Matthew Broderick in the same sentence, ignore that conversation.
Yeah, that is the Godzilla that shall not be named.
Yeah.
Well, even Toho has renamed that version just as Zilla.
So,
Yeah, again.
here we are here. When it comes to Godzilla, I've seen the original Gojira movie. I have seen the Godzilla, the American version they did. I've seen a few, but none of the 70s stuff or anything. And then, I've seen the American version with the Kong and the Godzilla. And, I'm like, they're okay, but they don't compare to Godzilla -1.
Dude, you got Japanese, you got a kick-ass lizard, or you got the American version. Let's give him a monkey power arm. What the fuck?
I have to say, if you're talking about thematically, Godzilla -1 and Shin Godzilla are on par with the original Gojira.
Yes, you got to see
Because
before you see -1.
I loved Shin. I thought the ending was a little bit weird, especially with what Godzilla was doing with its tail. But considering, this is the same country that spawned Neon Genesis Evangelion, I can forgive it.
Hey, Elihu, I have to ask you a question.
You just did.
No. I know, but I got to ask you this. The science. How was the science? Because I'm like, when they were talking about what they were thinking about doing to kill God, I'm like, holy shit, this sounds like a good idea. What would Eli, is this practical? I'm like, I'm going to have to ask Elihu.
Nuclear fission is not my expertise, but I would have to say, yeah, it is practical.
I thought their idea was brilliant. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually haven't watched Godzilla -1 yet, but I loved Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, I'm an astronomer, not a nuclear physicist. That's Yvette's field of expertise. But I would have to say, looking at that and watching it, it would be practical.
Yeah, I mean, it just seemed like when we saw that and I was looking, I was like, and I'm listening, I'm like, holy shit, this actually sounds logical.
Yeah.
This makes sense. This sounds scientific.
Well, Caddy was going to say something again. What were you going to say, sweetheart?
Oh, I was just going to mention that the second you guys started talking about science, my brain went to a quote from Legally Blonde, which has nothing to do with science, which is just because it's how it sounded in my brain.
Would you stop quoting L, okay?
Oh, it's funny. It is an L quote, which is a half stitch on China silk. Oh, but you can't use a half stitch on China silk because it will pucker.
Don't ask me how I know who L is, okay?
But yeah, Elihu, it was cinematically fantastic.
Yes.
Visually beautiful. I mean, scientifically logical.
Dude, I watched it on my TV, on my laptop. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, the acting was great. I'm like, holy shit, now that's acting. I mean, everything that happened in that movie, them all getting together and forming that family and everything. And you know, that one point where his friend gets up in his face and everything, and he's like, "Why didn't you marry her?" You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know, and then we get to that point, and it's like, he says to the one guy, you know who I'm talking about, and he goes, "The war's not over for us."
I still think she stole that baby.
You
What?
think?
Having known nothing about anything about Godzilla, just hearing, I still think she stole that baby, is so incredibly out of context.
No, I know what he's talking about.
It's actually in context with the movie.
Yeah, it's within context of the movie. But
Yeah.
the movie is 15. What they spend? High end 15 million.
million, yes, 15, 1-5.
And 30% of their budget went to the visual effects.
No,
And we
I
can
thought
change-
hold on. I thought Elihu said they spent 15 million on just the visual effects.
No. They only
No.
spent 30% on the visual effects.
Yeah, it was $15 million budget.
And 30% of it was on the visual effects.
Yeah, they can pull that off, and America can do a shitty ass Thor CGI movie with a floating head. Like, what the fuck is this?
Exactly. You look at that movie, and then you're like, Hollywood is over bloated. It's like, we need $200 million for a movie. No, you don't.
Yeah, I'm not going to pay you $35,000 to draw an animated stick figure. No.
It's like, we have just been shown you can do a fucking epic movie on a $15 million budget in 2024 with great acting, great writing, great directing, great visual effects.
Practical effects combined with special
away.
effects in the same scenes. Hello.
Dude, I was blown away. I've watched the American versions of Godzilla and Kong. I'm sorry. We just need to hand this back to the Japs. Because honestly, they know what the hell they're doing.
I don't know. I really liked Godzilla versus Kong and Godzilla King of Destroy All Monsters or whatever that one was with their version of King Ghidorah.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The way those movies are done, they're done in an American way. So you have the kaiju, and then you have like 20-something characters running around. In this movie, it's all centered around one character and everybody else around him that he meets are part of that. But the central character is him.
It's not predictable. Like, you see Congo in water. Okay, what's going to attack him? No, you don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Why is it keeping highlighting better?
I don't know. It's something weird with StreamYards when it's on. Yeah.
But
let's do
Elihu,
this.
yeah, but Elihu, I mean, with Godzilla -1, the whole thing is structured around one main character and all the supporting characters that are around him.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not worried about their backstory, their prehistory. We don't really get a lot of their backstories. We get a little bit of dialogue, and it's enough for you to figure out if you're paying attention. And then boom, that's it. And they become a family.
I forgot I was streaming on X for a second.
It's after the war, they lost the war, they made a family together.
I forgot I was on X for a second. I forgot about the hashtag.
Is that the name of the new movie, or did he actually pass away?
No, that's the name of an old movie.
I don't know. I haven't watched anything with Pauly Shore in it since the 90s.
Oh, yeah. Basically, he's been trying to get a little active on X, and he's been following a lot of people. He's following me now, which is pretty cool. Like, hey, the Weasel. And he did something yesterday that people are actually surprised. He put his own movie, Pauly Shore did, from YouTube, on X and YouTube. I'm like, okay, this guy put his own movie out for free. He's not just going, hey, click this 99 cents, you can watch the movie. No, free. Paulie's like, hey, watch my movie for free. Now this dude rocks.
Well, that kind of reminds me of when they were doing Lego 2 advertising as an YouTube ad that you could watch the entirety of the Lego movie.
This was not an ad, anything like that. He's
But
just
I'm just saying,
basically
they were letting you watch the first one for free.
I remember Holly Shore and Kid and Play. No, wait, what was that movie that Kid and Play and Pauly Shore in?
Oh shit! Oh crap!
The one where everybody they get mixed up and one goes to the gay area of the school and the other goes to the top of the class.
Yeah. Oh shit!
I know. I'm trying to drive me nuts.
Damn it! I'm too stoned to remember.
I don't remember, but I it's hard for me to go back and even watch some Pauly Shore movies because he was good friends at the time with Stephen Baldwin, and Stephen Baldwin has kind of gone off the deep end since then. And it's kind of hard to watch those movies because I can't separate the actor's actions with his old characters.
I can watch anything James Woods is in, but I would never interact with him personally.
Was it Class Act?
I believe that was it.
I think it was Class Act. Yeah, it was Class Act. Yeah, that was so fucking funny back in the day.
Welcome back to your caddy has no idea what the fuck is being said.
Pauly Shore, the Weasel.
It's all before your time. It's all before you were born.
Leaning Tower, Cheesa.
So, speaking about things before they were born, if you guys didn't see my post, the other night, my daughter, her girlfriend, and I, we all sat down and watched this. Let me see if I can get my screen up. Oh, shit. I'm on the wrong thing.
It's called Present. Oh. Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, we watched that. So what happened was I went to Walmart to get the dog food run, and I usually go through the media section to see if there's any physical media I want. And they had this steel box here of Killer Clowns from Outer Space, Blu-ray and 4K, and I was like, yep. It was the only one left. I'm like, you're going home with me. I'm like, I got Killer Clown curtain. I got a vanity plate of Killer Clowns. I'm like, I got to have the DVD. So we all sat down. We watched the movie, the three of us. They loved it. And I asked them, I said, which was your favorite clown? And they said, oh, the little guy. I said, everybody's favorite's the little guy. Everybody's favorite clown is that little clown.
One of my
DVD player.
One of my favorite stories about that. I had originally seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space with my dad when I was like 5-6 years old. I can't remember. But the second time I watched it was with at the time my best friend, his girlfriend's friend who hated my guts, and his girlfriend's sister. Now, we were sitting on the couch all together. I'm the only one who's seen this movie, and my buddy's girlfriend has suffers from the fear of clowns. I can't remember the actual name of it.
Yeah, that phobia. I know which.
Shit. Never mind.
I can't remember what it is offhand.
Let's find out. What's the fear of clowns called?
I don't know. That's why I admitted I don't remember. Now, well, the funniest part for me was
chlorophobia.
Yeah, chlorophobia.
Okay. Either way, while watching this movie, all the women folk decided to grab my right arm, and every time one of the clowns showed up or did something scary, they were like gripping my arm to hold on for dear life, to the point where I literally had nail, my scabs that came up the next day because they were digging their nails into my arm. They were so scared from that fucking movie. And I'm trying to laugh my head off, but I'm in pain.
That's why I'm laughing too.
And I remember yelling at Nicole because I'm like, why don't you grab your boyfriend's arm? And she literally said, because if I did this to his arm, I'd snap it in half.
I love the fact that you guys are doing this, and in my head, I just have the Niggles song playing.
The Wiggles.
Niggles.
Caddy, maybe we should watch Killer Clowns.
Yeah, you should.
Only if I can get you to watch Black Friday.
Which Black Friday?
It's a musical.
Oh.
I need to load. I'll be back in a few minutes.
We'll see. No guarantees.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun getting to sit down and hang out with them and build that memory. And they loved the movie. They thought it was amazing. It's nice when you can do that with your kids, when you can build those kind of memories.
Oh, I remember watching, my dad was one of those dads. He did not give a fuck, and he'd let me watch anything he was interested in watching. So yeah, at, half the age of my son, I'm watching Killer Clowns, Leprechaun, Friday the 13th. And my dad didn't even give a shit if there was nudity or cussing or anything like that. He just was like, hey, it's just a movie. It's not going to do anything to you.
Yeah, I remember watching movies with my mom and stuff and my dad. And I mean, they'd be R-rated movies and I just ask questions. Like, for example, one time I watched, I watched a movie. You know how I learned about homosexuality? I kid you not. From Married with Children. I was watching an episode of Married with Children with my mom and my stepfather. And it was the episode where his wife was seeing a gay man. And I remember the scene where the guy goes, your wife is seeing my husband. You know you're a man, right? Well, that means two men who's not touched my wife. And I'm just laughing. And, at the end of it, she goes, oh, he wanted me. He was this. And she goes, he's a homo peg. And I had asked my wife, not my wife, sorry. I asked my mom, I said, yeah, I know. Misspoke there. I asked my mom, I said.
I'm just thinking Freud would have had a field day with that one.
Oh, I'm sure. I asked my mom, I'm like, what's a homo? She goes, a man who likes other men. I'm like, oh. And then I just went back to watching TV. I was like, oh, okay.
You want to know? Hold on, Caddy. I wanted to tell you because I have my funny story about how I was gay was described to me or introduced to me. Was I was sick one day and my mom had to bring me to work with her, and we ended up going out to lunch and with a couple of her coworkers, and my mom and her coworker were talking about it was such a shame how one of the guys that they worked with their husband was gay, or at least their boyfriend was gay. Because apparently he was the most beautiful man they had ever seen. And they were like, he's gay. We can't do anything about it. And I'm like, what's gay mean? And so I'm eating Mandarin chicken, having my very Christian mom explain to me why it was a pity someone was gay, even though it's okay they're gay. The reason it's pity is because the man is beautiful.
Oh God! You have any idea how many times I heard that before from women?
Yeah, dude. Remember? Look at the quote, man. I remember you quoting this.
Yeah, I mean, how many times do you have women say you're like, oh God, he's so beautiful.
All
Why
the
is
hot
he
men
gay?
are taken or gay. That is the quote. I know exactly what you guys are all fucking talking about, and the quote that a lot of girls will say is, "Why are all the hot men taken or gay?"
Why all the hot men? All the hot men are taken or they're gay. That's how it works. That is the truth. That is the truth. I mean, I remember so many times, especially back in the 90s, these girls would do. I swear to God, I remember girls so flirting with gay guys like they were hoping they could change them because they were so beautiful.
Well,
I guess that's
hold
why
on.
I'm single.
I just realized how mean that quote is to Elihu.
Yeah, I'm single.
If all the hot men are either taken or gay, and Elihu's the only single man on the panel,
Yeah.
what does that imply?
You automatically become more attractive once you're in a relationship.
Nah, he hasn't. Nah, the right woman just hasn't found him to be capable of his intellect.
Hey, Ethan.
No, sorry. What I was gonna go on is like you all are talking about like horror related stuff, so my brain keeps going back to the frickin' Hatchetfield trilogy. And I just keep thinking about the Lords in Black and the fact that like their actual names are like vaguely intimidating. But what they actually get called most of the time is so incredibly not intimidating. Because their actual names are Wigog-Urath, Pocotho, Nibelin Ephem, Tanoi Caraxes, and Bliplotek.
Gesundheit?
Yeah.
Bliplotek. Yeah. But what they get called is Wiggly, Pokey, Nibbly, Tinky, and Blinky.
They sound like Pac-Man ghosts.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
They were made into plushies.
Tinky, Inky, Winky, and Dot. Come on.
Yeah, it's when something. Yeah, it's part of that when something scary is turned into a plush to be cute. Like I remember the first time I saw the face hugger as a plushie, complete with smiling face.
I'll send my dad the photo of the Lords in Black plushes. Because so Black Friday, the musical I was just talking about, it follows the plot of the Wiggly plush. And how this plushie is attempting to take over the world.
You know, I saw that trailer for Alien Romulus, and I'm gonna be honest, looked good.
I'll say I want to go back to that because I just want to point out the fact that one of the first things we hear of the Lords in Black are their names. And then we meet the Lords in Black again in fun fact, musical I've talked about before, Nerdy Prudes Must Die.
Jeremy fucking Ryan.
No.
Oh wow! Whoa, a musical without Jeremy. Whoa! What the hell is wrong with you? You watching a musical without Jeremy in it?
It has I can only remember his first name right now. It has John in it.
Oh gee, that helps.
It has Joey Richter, Mariah Faith Rose, Lauren Lopez, and John Madison, I want to believe his name is.
Okay.
I have no idea who any of those people are, sweetheart. I don't think, and it's funny, when we talk, you have no idea what we're talking about. When you talk, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Generational difference, buddy.
Do you want to know what the most intimidating line from fucking Nerdy Prudes Must Die is?
No, but I have a feeling you're going to tell us regardless of whether we say yes or no.
Yes, I am.
What is the most irritating line in that play, Caddy?
So the most intimidating line, in my opinion, is said by Wiggly. And that line is, "Hello, Wendy Wens."
I'm sorry, that doesn't have the same eeriness as "Hello, Clarice."
But I think it's so incredibly funny. It
And
is so weirdly intimidating
we have
and so
something
incredibly funny.
I'm sorry, but the most intimidating line I can remember is they sent a census to analyze me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice
Oh.
Chianti.
Oh, I should have played fucking Not Your Seed from the guy who didn't like musical for my dad. Cause I am not your seed, I ain't your angsty team.
oh god, now that you're singing it, Thursday I took the day off because the two younger Vile daughters were both graduating from the 8th grade, and Caddy was coming with me, and because I was taking the whole day off, she helped me at the storage unit for a couple hours, so I can try to get some stuff onto the store. While she was helping me out, she starts singing just in this hall of the storage unit. And two guys are packing up from Mayflower, another person's storage unit, because I guess the people were moving out of state. And one of them just has to come over and says, "Wow, you sing really good." And the entire time I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm annoyed still.
I was like kind of surprised on top of it. I wasn't expecting anyone to say anything. I was just singing to like pass the time quicker.
Hey, Yvette, how are things across the pond?
Hey, man.
And,
See, talking about his dad,
I'm rereading his line. So cool to call a scary thing by a friendly name. You don't know how true that is when you have a daughter whose nickname is Caddy Knight.
Because, like, again, the whole thing is that you summon the Lords in Black, and it's just. You hear their real names, and then one of the first things they say is, "Hello, Wendy Wens." And then you hear one of the other Lords in Black go, "Don't scare them, Pokey, you nasty boy." First time watching this, I had to physically pause the fucking musical because I was laughing so hard.
Does anybody have an idea what she's talking about?
Good.
I know what she's talking about. I don't care though. But I'm probably going to end up having to watch it anyway because she'll make me at some point.
Yes, I will. I'm going, Dad.
And despite the fact that I've been able to manage to not see Has Been Hotel, despite all 4 of my effing kids trying to get me to, we'll see what happens.
He is listening to at least all of the songs.
Did StreamYard change its function? Because that last comment I put in there was too long. I was about to accidentally trim it, but I hit enter and it just split it automatically. Does StreamYard do that?
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, because sometimes it goes like not enough characters, too many characters ran out. But I'm like, oh shit, there's too many. I was about to split it, and it just split it automatically. I'm like, okay, new feature StreamYard, nice.
All right.
Also, Dad, did you notice something funny that happened yesterday?
Yeah, you fell down and tripped in some mud.
No, I broke my glasses.
Been there, done that.
That's not funny.
And the funny part is that my boyfriend got so tired of me breaking my glasses that he soldered the fucking hinge. Just soldered the hinge closed. I am no longer allowed to break these glasses.
You have not felt pain till a horse stepped on your glasses.
I actually have had that happen.
Oh, okay, never mind.
My mom actually does ride horses, so one of the times I was over at a horse ranch we used to go to a lot, and we volunteered out. I was trying to clean my glasses, like one time I ever actually tried to clean my glasses, and I dropped them as my mom was riding by, and I just watched them crack, and I was like, no.
Sorry. Oh, new screen.
And of course, as soon as I start talking, StreamYards mutes me for some reason. NB, do you have any plans for Father's Day?
No.
Oh,
No.
I'm trying to get all 4 of the kids together for breakfast.
No, listen, I'm going to be honest. I don't really care about Hallmark holidays.
Yeah, I don't plan on being a father tomorrow, so what am I going to celebrate?
Well, no, I just use it as an excuse to spend more time with my kids.
I don't care. It really has never been an important thing to me. It's kind of something I've had to explain to my wife. I'm like, there are holidays I don't care about. I don't care about Valentine's Day. I only do it because I have a significant other. None of this stuff really matters to me. Father's Day doesn't matter to me. Valentine's Day, St. Patty's Day, those kind of things don't matter to me.
I'm anti-St. Patrick's Day.
Sorry. Yes, my gift to you on Father's Day. I'm going to make you watch all of the Hatchetfield trilogy, Father.
Give him a tie.
I've only seen one of them, and I only care to see one of them.
Okay, but you're gonna watch all 3.
We're not gonna have time. You have to work at 1.
I know. I can still make you watch all 3.
How?
I will put the girls up to it.
Shit.
I can take their phones away.
You're fucked. No. You got the girls going against her. You're fucked. All the girls, you're fucked, dude. Admit it.
So I got put in. So interesting thing this morning. I went out to the gas station. I come back home. I'm on Facebook, and all of a sudden I get told I'm in some kind of Facebook jail because a picture I posted was intimate, sensitive, or something like that.
What did you post?
Exactly.
Otherwise, you're not allowed.
I have no idea what it was. No, seriously, I had no idea what the hell they were talking about.
At least X will tell you why you got suspended.
Yeah, but I don't even know the photo they were talking about. Every photo I post is either something I've shared from Twitter or something I shared from Facebook or just something I've shared from my own file. But, you know, it's not like I go out there showing my junk or anything. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what the hell you're suspending me for or restricting me for, but whatever.
Weird.
Yeah, weird. Normally, I know what I get screwed for, but that one was...
Yeah, every time you got suspended from X, you got an explanation of why you got suspended.
Yeah, exactly. It was like, okay, what was the photo? I don't even know what the photo was.
Was it the month?
The
month?
One of my groups on Facebook. Facebook actually basically took down the entire group, and we found out like it took us 6 months to find out why, and it was for a post that was made like 5 years ago.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't have Facebook.
Well, the only reason I have Facebook is because that's where I talk to my buddies from the Marine Corps, the Air Force, and my family.
I talk to my friends on Instagram and X. So.
But yeah, it was so weird. So I'm on these restrictions until August. I'm like, damn, 2 months? I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay.
Well, not only that, when I logged into StreamYards today, apparently Facebook has new rules regarding streaming on their platform. And I was like, oh, great. I'm not going to be able to stream to Facebook anymore because they're saying that you have to, one, have an account that's at least 6 months old. You have to have a professional account. So it can't just be a personal account. And you have to have at least 100 subscribers. And I'm like, I was thinking, oh wait, I know I have my account. I have a professional account. It's my SD Game Swap account. It's the account I stream to. So I'm like, okay, that's good. The account is almost 10 years old, so that's fine. But I'm like, I don't even know I have 100 subscribers. So I went ahead and checked. I've got almost 200 subscribers on Facebook. So I'll still be able to do it, but I'm like, that seems a sucky amount of restrictions to add to something, especially if someone's just starting out.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I forgot the qualifications to live stream on X. I forgot what that was.
My wife cracks me up, man. She sees all the likes I get on TikTok, and she's like, if you get 1,000 subscribers, you go live. I went, Rachel, it's not why I'm doing this.
Speaking of TikTok, it was kind of funny. One of my old coworkers who recently quit / got fired, and I think it's funny because she got fired for quitting.
Oh, her.
What?
Oh, her.
Yeah, she quit. She quit because my company was asking her to do something that she didn't. Basically, they were training. They wanted her to train somebody to take over her job because our company just got bought by another company, and she's like, "I'm not going to train somebody to take my job from me," so she quit. And they responded to her email about quitting by firing her.
Oh, good. Then she gets unemployment.
So, but fortunately, that's a different district manager, and that district manager is new and a big bitch from everyone I've talked to, who's now under her. And I think we're going to lose that territory because of her. So we could kiss Arizona goodbye. But either way, she's on TikTok. She's on Facebook. She's trying to become like an influencer type. And what's funny is, most of the people who are subscribing to her is because she is, young, blonde, skinny, big breasts. Okay.
She's a genetic lottery one.
Yeah. And she definitely, half her videos are either about her daughter and baseball, or they're videos about showing off her body. That's sex sells essentially.
And
Well,
Andy's going to ask you, what's her account name?
I'm not going to tell you, only because I don't remember it.
So here's the thing I've been running.
But no, hold on, Ebby. I just want to finish the story because when I do happen to see one of her videos and I have a comment to make, I usually make it funny. Like when she had one where she was showing off whatever dress she had bought recently, I was like, oh my God, where'd you get that clock? It's amazing. Or, that purse definitely does not go with those shoes. Or, that kind of stuff. And every time I make one of those comments, she responds personally as the creator and as a friend of mine. On one of those comments that I had made like a year ago on one of her videos, a guy complained saying, I have, told her how beautiful she is on every video she's ever posted, and she's not responded once, but she keeps responding to you. What the fuck? And I'm like, well, maybe you should stop telling her how beautiful she is. Stop trying to get into her pants just because she's hot, and just be yourself.
And say something funny.
I just say because I know her.
I'll tell you the videos I can't stand on TikTok, and it involves women, is these fucking women who go into the gym, video record themselves, and then want to bitch about men saying they're staring at her. Okay, let me explain something. First off, when I used to go to the gym back in the 80s, 90s, 2000s, you weren't allowed to film in a gym. They actually had that up. You were not allowed to film. So now we have these women coming in the skimpiest, tightest outfits possible, working out, and then they're like, what's with these gym creeps? No, they're not the creep. You're the creep. You're seeking attention. You're seeking validation. That's why you're doing a video. And then you want to play victim on top of it. Fuck you, you entitled little bitch.
Well, it's probably because they're trying to, they got a positive response when they did something similar. So they're laying into that because that seems to be the demographic that approves of their videos. Same thing happens with all other, a bunch of other accounts. They start getting validation from a group that, doesn't necessarily mesh with your values, but they lean into it because they're getting that validation.
No, I kind of see what NB is talking about. You go into a gym with a camera, and so people can watch you work out, and you're getting creeped out because people at the gym itself is watching you work out. I understand what NB is talking about. It's a double standard. Stop recording if you don't want people to get freaked out with people actually watching you in the gym work out. Stop recording yourself.
Yeah, exactly. We're not in the gym. We go to the gym to work out. Now, listen, if you've ever been to a gym, you know there are some people who go there strictly to work out. There are some people who socialize while they're working out. They talk. That's their social time. So they take longer. That's fine. You have people like me who would go in the gym, lightly socialize, and then I would do my workout. Were there hot women in tight clothes? Yes. Did I look at them? Of course I did. But it wasn't like perverted or anything. It's like you're asking us to look at you with what you're wearing. And you can't tell me you're not. Guys are wearing loose clothes, loose shirts, baggy pants, or sweats. These women are wearing tight yoga pants and crop tops and sports bras. Okay? I'm sorry. You are asking us to look at you, and then you're getting mad. It's like when I was...
Hold on. NB, the only thing I would disagree with that on is the fact that sometimes those types of clothes are more comfortable for them to work out in.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. But guys are not going to the gym to check out women. That's not what we're there for.
I will hold on. I will say that there are some guys that do that.
Okay, those are the creeps.
Some girls that do the same thing. It's a two-way street.
Yeah, well, if you're going there to do that, you're wasting your goddamn money. Most people.
Yeah, I kind of do agree with you slightly, NB, because when I went to the gym in my leotard, everyone kept staring at me, and I felt really objectified.
Well, that's the problem, and this is the thing with the videos and everything.
Hold on, NB, come on. That was a joke. Think of me, 300 pounds, wearing a leotard. Come on.
Hey,
I could not think of that anymore, dude. I don't want to throw up, okay?
When you go to the gym, you wear what is comfortable. But the problem is, not only do these women go in there but the problem is these women go in there, okay, fine, this is all comfortable. But then they think they're getting objectified all the damn time when the men are just working out. Yeah, sure, they look at you. So what? It's not like they're gonna come up to you and hit on you. They're just gonna work out.
NB, I'd hate to disagree with you on that, but I did have a certain friend of mine who wore sweats to the gym because she was trying to lose water weight. And every time she went to the gym, she was hit on by guys who would come up to her and, try to help her out with, try to tell her how she can improve her running on the treadmill or her form on while doing the bench press or something like that. And it was really annoying to her. Because she ended up joining that all women's gym just to get away from them.
I don't see that as hitting on her.
And Eastland, I'm 6'2".
Anyway, I disagree with that, and she might have misinterpreted that. They might have just been trying to teach her the proper technique, and she.
Trust me, it wasn't.
I was gonna say,
Okay, well, look, I'm not saying there aren't creeps, but I mean, these videos that we are seeing are not people coming up and doing this stuff. It's just these women are like, why are you staring at me? Why are you looking at me? Why are you doing it? It's like
yes, I get the
do
videos
your
that you're talking
fucking
about.
workout.
Caddy, what were you saying?
Also, I get the videos you're talking about because I've also seen those kinds of videos. But again, having friends who have gone to the gym that are young women, I have a ton of stories from my friends that are like, yeah, guys are fucking weird. They stare at me and all I'm doing is trying to work out. They're not filming, they're not doing anything, and it makes them uncomfortable because there is such a stigma about women wearing clothes that are seen as form-fitting. So it makes a lot of girls uncomfortable to be wearing anything that is form-fitting because, oh God, why are they looking at me?
Because most guys wear loose-fitting clothes. We don't wear form-fitting.
Yeah, and I hold on, Eastland. I will. There are creeps, and I would say you're absolutely right. There's not as many, but the few that there are, tend to they're basically doing the shotgun method inside of a gym. They're hitting on every single woman they see there, trying to score with at least one of them.
Yeah, and
that's they give. And it's those creeps that are giving, decent guys that, aren't doing that or who are there just to work out, or when I had a gym membership just to use the pool, basically a bad name.
Yeah, there are those creeps, and they're generally pretty easy to figure out. But the majority of the people at the gym, the vast majority, are there to work out. Nobody. Yeah, we're not there.
But it's the loud minority that is ruining it for a majority of the guys.
Okay, so when I was going to the gym,
and the women in that case.
All right, so
sorry.
So for example, when I was going to the gym, up until I had my last sick fit, yes, there was one girl. She wore very tight clothes. Yes, she had a nice ass. Okay, fine. I admit that. Didn't mean I was staring at her 24/7 while I was at the gym. It just meant I acknowledged it. I acknowledged she had a good fit body. And I'm like, okay. And I continue to work out. I mean, I'm not going to go up. I mean, maybe it's because of my age difference now. I'm 44 years old and I'm married. I'm about to be 45, but even when I was 45 and single, I'm not going to go up and hit on a 25-year-old kid. I mean, that's
NB. I got to tell you a story that kind of grossed me out.
Hang on a second, Mike. Hang on a second, Mike. I just got to remind NB something. You totally forgot what Mike said. Some women wear clothes because they feel comfortable wearing them.
No,
not because they're form-fitting, but because they feel comfortable wearing them.
No, I didn't forget it. I respect that. So, yes, but unfortunately, it does show off all the attributes. And yes, guys are naturally going to sometimes stare. It's not like I wanted to. It's just, I'm a guy. So when I was walking the track and I was behind her, yeah, I happened to notice her ass. I tried to.
No, but I wanted to tell you a story real quick about when you said, kind of it being gross to hit on a 25-year-old.
Oh God, yeah.
When I was working at one of my stores, I try to be friendly with everyone who works at the stores for the most part.
Yeah.
And one of my stores is actually the store that Caddy has taken over for me because she works for the same company now.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a girl that, when I was working late at night there, who happened to also be on the night shift, we would talk to each other because she worked front end and I was packing out magazines to the front end. And out of the blue one day, she decides to ask me out. And I was like, oh, sorry, I already have a girlfriend and I think you're a bit young for me. I find out that she actually went to school with Caddy at Poway High.
Oh, wow.
And I immediately felt dirty. Even though I'm not the one who asked the other one out, I'm the one who felt dirty about it because it was like, oh, I feel like I was creeping on her. Was I flirting the entire time? Oh God, what was I doing? And the sad thing is, she ended up quitting like 2 months later, and I'm like, I hope she didn't quit because of that.
So my friends, all through my life, I've been told I'm a natural flirt. That's what they told me. Well, I'm at work, and I'm 30. I think I'm 36 at the time, right? And I'm talking to one of my airmen. It's my female airman. Her name is Hamblin. Her name was Hamblin. And she was one of those really young, pretty girls who liked attention. You know what I'm talking about? All the single guys were all over her. And I had to actually lock some things down because certain things were happening with her. I was like, no. This shit is inappropriate. It's going to stop. And one point, I'm talking to her about something, and somebody said, are you going to ask her out or what? And I don't know who it was. I looked at the person. I said, are you out of your fucking mind? How sick are you? He goes, what? I said, do you understand the age difference between her and me is my daughter's age, which my daughter was 16 at the time. So there was a 16-year age difference between us. And I'm like, do you know how sick what you said just sounded to me? I mean, I really railed into the guy because I was like, that was some fucked up shit. Yes.
Sorry,
Yes, she was beautiful. Yes, she was young. She was attractive. She was also naive as hell. And I took responsibility because when I joined that unit, she was 18 years old. And she was very naive. And I kind of made sure she was taken care of. But to equate that to me flirting with her and when he did, oh my God, I felt sick as hell when that guy suggested that.
Sorry, I was gonna point out the fact that it's so ubiquitous for people, for the whole idea of a guy seeing a girl and seeing their clothes as consent, that there is a lyric in a musical that is quite literally saying, if you don't want me staring, why are you wearing that skirt?
Well,
And
actually,
it is not played straight. I will state that. They are horrible people, but it's one of those things that it's so well known to happen that it happens in a fucking musical.
okay, so Caddy, one time when I was back in high school, there was this girl. She came in. She was wearing a halter top and a mini skirt, all leather. She was showing her midriff off. You were actually allowed to do this back then. And yeah, I was staring at her. And she goes, what are you looking at? I said, and I immediately just said, did you really put that all on today and say, God, I hope people don't look at me? Or is it just you wanted the people you want to look at you, but you got to deal with the people you don't want looking at you? Because when you dress like that, they're going to look. Guys are going to look.
And I was going to continue.
Hold on. I wanted to respond to Eastland's comment here real quick. It reminded me of an old episode of Mythbusters where they had I can't remember. I think it was Carrie or Kara, the female Mythbuster, and they did the thing where they were testing whether larger breasts got more tips. So they had her working at like a diner, and for depending on the shift, they would either have something that would bind her boobs so they look smaller without anything, then bigger and bigger, and just to see if she got bigger tips. And not only did she end up getting bigger tips with bigger breasts, people thought that she was nicer when she had bigger breasts, even though she was acting the same way. So yeah, it's like people think that because they're looking at your attributes more often, it's because you actually want them to, regardless of whether you want them to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, Dad. So I was working recently, and a guy came up to me, and I'm working at the Walmart. I'm putting books up, and and the top shelves are a little too tall for me, so I have to step up onto my tippy toes to be able to actually put a lot of them up there.
Smart.
And one guy came up behind me and slapped my fucking ass.
Oh, that is
Oh,
sexual
I
harassment.
would kill them.
Was
That is
not my
sexual harassment.
friend of mine. I turned around. I was in fucking shock.
Or assault. Yeah, sexual assault.
Yeah. The first thing I did was I stepped away from everything. I called my boyfriend just to talk with him because I'm like, that's.
Yeah, Poway is a weird freaking store. The customers in that store are some of the weirdest I've come across, and I'm sorry that's your only store, sweetheart.
No, it's like I've had a few customers get mad at me when I have to tell them I'm sorry, I don't actually work for Walmart, and they're like, then why are you working here if you don't actually work at Walmart? It's like,
Oh, I get that all the time, but
I'm a contractor. I technically am a vendor. I don't actually work for them. If you want, there's a bunch of people right back there. They're more than happy to help you, and they'll like put their hands up and walk off, and it's like, okay.
I'm surprised you don't go, am I wearing a blue vest?
I've wanted to a few times, but at least when I'm going through the boxes, I understand where they're coming from with like, oh, that's clearly a worker. They're putting stuff from a box up onto the shelf.
yeah.
Clearly they work here. I get where they're coming from.
Caddy, my favorite one is it was actually in Poway. I was packing out the magazines up front, and a lady walks up to me and says, "You need to open a new register." And I'm like, the hell I do. And that response to her was just like, she was not expecting me to say anything close to that. And of course she's like, well, how dare you talk to me like that? Ma'am, I don't work here. I'm not even allowed to open a register. So telling me I need to do so is not going to help my situation or yours. And she finally like stormed off, but it was still really funny to see her reaction. Like, the look on her face was, I could not have shocked her more if I had slapped her right in the face.
Also, I just want to go back to what I was saying about my personal own experiences. Do you want to know what I was wearing that day for him to do that?
Clothes?
I was wearing yoga pants and a sweater. That's it.
No bra, no underwear, no socks, no shoes? Wow. How'd you get inside Walmart without socks and shoes?
Not what I meant, and you know it. But it was one of those things that, like, it took me so off guard.
Yeah, well, it was assault, and it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If I had been there, sweetheart, that guy would have been dead. Not just because you're my daughter. Because you're my daughter, not only would he be dead, I would have probably removed his testicles before I killed him. But if it happened to any of my female coworkers, or hell, if it happened to one of my male coworkers, I would still beat the shit out of that person.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You don't do that shit.
No.
That's assault. That's both assault and I guess you could call it sexual harassment.
No,
I mean, I once had a guy who was angry. He was upset because apparently he thought I was ignoring him because he was trying to get my attention to help him out with opening a locked display case. But, because I don't work for Walmart, I wasn't even, paying attention to him. And he put his hand on my shoulder. And I damn near elbowed him in the face for it. And two, I yelled at him, like, dude, you do not touch anybody, regardless if you think they're ignoring you. You just do not do that. Period. To anyone working or in public. I'm sorry.
I've got one big paranoia that I can't handle. And I've had it ever since I've been in the military, and that is someone over my shoulder. So, like, I'll have somebody over my shoulder. Like, when I'm wearing a blaze, I have someone shy. It's like, you need to get away from behind me. I'm like, you can't be behind me. Like, why? I'm like, because it makes me uncomfortable.
So you don't
Okay.
sit with your back to
Sorry,
the
I'm
door,
just
accepting that
going
room
to-
you're in right now?
You damn right I am, Elihu. That's exactly what I am.
Sorry. You saying that, and it just reminded me of the fact that my boyfriend also does not like people standing behind him, and he was also in the military.
Yeah, we do not like, no. Unless we trust the person, we don't want someone behind us.
Or the environment. That's why the room he's in right now, his back is to the door because he trusts his environment.
Exactly. But I mean, when somebody comes up behind me, I've literally had people come up behind me and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, back off. And they get all mad. I'm like, no, back off. I don't care how it makes them feel. You don't walk up behind me. You don't sneak up on me. You're out of your mind to do that. Okay, that's how I am. That's how I was trained. Situational awareness. I need to know my surroundings. So if you're behind me, I better trust you. And if I don't trust you, you better not be better be within my visual sight.
Sorry, my brain just went to the I took martial arts for a lot of years, and one thing I was actually taught was that a girl's greatest strength is their hair.
Lucky, you got a brain.
Well,
StreamYard, stop doing that. Sorry.
Like, it was like, put your hair, if you have your hair in a pony, use it. It's a weapon.
Yeah,
If you have it in a braid,
hair in
use
the
it,
face
it's a
is
weapon.
annoying. That's why I have long. Look, yeah, hair in the face is annoying. Okay.
Oh, hold on. I got to bring this up. Caddy,
No, not the baldness. Not the baldness.
what Lisa just said, my stepdad too had to sit never back to the door in a restaurant. Who does that remind you of?
You. Both technically you and Matt, because both of you always want to be able to see the entrances.
because
Yeah,
we don't want to end up
I don't like sitting with my back to a door either. And I have my camera on. Why did I turn my camera on?
Oh, I don't care about the
because we
door.
don't want to end up like Wild Bill Hickok.
I don't care about the door position when I sit.
No, well, the rest of us don't want to end up like Wild Bill Hickok.
That's the excuse I give, NB, but it's also stems from my school shooting. I don't like the idea of being stuck inside of a room with only one or two entrances and not being able to see if anyone can come in.
I know where the entrances are, I know where the exits are, and I make sure I am facing a window. That is how I was trained, and that's how my wife was trained. It's just the way we are. I am not having my back to a window.
I don't mind having my back to a window. I just don't like having my back to the door.
Nope, not the window, not the door.
Sorry, all I can think right now is just my dad was in school shooting. I had a bomb threats on my high school and my middle school, if I'm correct.
Anything happened in my high school.
Oh, I had at my middle school. I had a kid bring a knife to school and stab someone.
Oh, in my school, my buddy brought a gun in, showed it to me. Nothing happened.
Yeah, nothing happened in my school.
Caddy knows I always carry a knife on me. And there was when I was in junior high, my teacher, my homeroom teacher, knew that I carried a knife. So what would happen is because knives weren't allowed on school premises, because it was my homeroom and it was my first class of the day, I would give him my knife while I was at school, and then as soon as I would leave school, I'd go back to the classroom to get my knife back. And
yeah,
he was very understanding. He's like, he understood. Yeah, it's a tool, but it's also protection. You carry a knife on you, and I used that actual knife to protect myself as well as open a freaking Game Boy.
Well, I carry a 9mm with me where I go, and I have a K-bar.
Again, sorry, it's like I'm thinking about like what happened at my schools. My middle school, I want to say it was the kid brought a knife to school, and I don't remember if the 2 hit lists that were found were at my middle school or at my high school. I think it was my middle school. I think that was all in my 8th grade year. And then I know at Poway High, we had a bomb threat. And I just remember the bomb threat in particular I was so annoyed with because they made us sit on the fucking bleachers. And I was talking with my friends, and I was like, I feel like moving everyone to the bleachers is the worst idea, because then we're all, in one area in the open.
Yeah, but you're away from the blast radius.
Oh, and I was like, we're talking about cemetery.
It's a shelter-in-place thing.
Well, it's like one of the things we talked about was, okay, God forbid it was someone who thought about what Poway High's evacuation procedures are. What if they didn't plant the bombs in the school?
Well, that's
our biggest fear.
Well, that's been the problem I've said with education for a long time. Well, the problem with the schools is their hardening is not productive.
Well, what's funny is Eastland was saying that she graduated in the 80s with guns and gun racks and car parking lots, and she clarified by saying trucks. My dad told me a story once where apparently there was a fight between two guys on campus, and when they went out to the parking lot, one of the guys didn't shoot the other kid, but he shot the guy's tires out because that's how pissed he was.
Okay, that sounds normal.
Yeah, but it was that. This happened like in the 60s. And that particular school then banned guns from people being able to leave them in their car because some kid decided to shoot the tires out.
Well, okay. Let's think about when Columbine happened. Okay, Highlander was a very popular show, so a lot of us were wearing dusters and trench coats. And after Columbine, trench coats and dusters were banned. Long coats were banned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think I was out of school time. When did Columbine actually happen?
2000.
Yeah, I was already out of. Yeah, I graduated in 98, but I came back and I went to go visit some of my teachers and stuff. And turned out I had to take my trench coat off because they had changed the rules since Columbine. And I was like, oh, okay. So I wasn't allowed to wear a long coat because I might have a shotgun under it. I was like, wow.
Safety, man.
And the fact that
it's funny you say that, MD, because my school didn't allow baggy jeans at the school, and they cited it as and this was actually before Columbine. They put it as the reason that you couldn't wear baggy jeans was because you could be hiding a pistol in your jeans.
In my school, they banned anything with a tobacco on it, anything with drug paraphernalia like weed, and there were certain shirts you weren't allowed to wear. There was two particular that were very popular at the time. There was the co-ed nakeds and the Big Johnsons, and they were banned from the school because they had the sexual innuendos in it.
Dude, the stupidest thing that my school ever banned was hair height. A girl's hair cannot be taller than like 1 or 2 inches tall. They can't have spiky hair. They banned that in my school. Okay, that was fucked up and stupid.
Okay, yeah, in my school.
Elihu, hold on. I want to say, Elihu, they banned spiky hair at one of my grade school because all the boys who had spiky hair, the gel was clogging the sinks, and they were consistently reapplying gel in the bathroom sinks, and it was costing the school money. That's why they banned spiky hair.
No, the thing is, the girls had the bangs like high up like a feather, right? They banned that because the state legislature thought that was gang related, and the schools went with it. I'm like, fuck you, these kids are being stylish. There's nothing about gang related about high feather hair. That was the stupidest thing my school ever banned.
My school, my school, I kid you not. So my school, our graduation year, we had that class photo. We had this one guy who dyed his hair blue. This is the 90s, so this was a new thing. He was told he had to dye his hair back to a natural color before the photo was taken. Well, he didn't, and none of us agreed with it. So we took the photo. He was in there with the blue hair. We got the photo. We got the class photo. They blotted out his hair. I shit you not. They blotted out his blue hair.
I remember reading an article. God, this is, I want to say like 4 or 5, 6 years ago. I can't remember, about a Mormon. It's not a Mormon, but a school in Utah, a high school, and they were catching flack because for the high school yearbook, they used Photoshop to cover up the cleavage of every single girl that showed even a hint of cleavage. And it I just remember that. Sorry, the story reminded me of that. Using Photoshop.
Crazy. It was so crazy. We all saw it. No, we were all like, no, we were all anticipating it. We knew who this guy was. We knew who Brian was. We knew this story. We were actually happy that he took a stand and was like, no, I'm not going to change my fucking hair. And then we get the photo and we're all like, they blotched your hair. Oh my God. It was like they blotched, I mean, they took his blue streak and just put like a black mark on there. I'm like, I don't know how they did it in the photo editing, but holy shit. We were all cracking up and we were all pissed off because we thought it was bullshit. It's like, dude, what were you doing? But yeah, what you're saying with the covering up of the cleavage.
Oh, and like some of it was like what they would do is if she was wearing like a black shirt, they would just use like a black marker tool to just make it go up to her collarbone, or they would literally just cut and paste an entirely different top onto the person, and it all looked really bad. God, as I said, try looking it up. I know I said Mormon. I didn't mean to specify Mormons. I just know it was a school in Utah, so I associate that with Mormons. But and I don't mean that kind of stuff only happens in Utah, because we had something similar not similar, but we had something in San Diego here a number of years back where a principal was doing thong checks at a dance. And any girl that was found wearing a thong had to was either sent out or had to change into another set of underwear.
And how would you know that?
That's the thing. They were literally lifting up girls' skirts to find out if they were wearing thongs.
That's kind of sick.
Yeah, I know, and that happened here in San Diego, so it's not just a Mormon thing. I didn't want to assume, want people to assume that I was saying that.
Wait a minute, this happened in California of all places?
Yeah, here in San Diego County.
I just know never to get stuck in Utah on a Sunday because there's no alcohol, there's no weed, there's no McDonald's.
Why would you go to Utah?
I got stuck there one day on a Sunday for 24 hours when I was younger.
Must have been.
Well, to be fair, they do have Zion National Park, and that's one of the most beautiful national parks in all of the country, I would say.
Yeah, I was stuck in Salt Lake itself. There was no McDonald's, no Burger King, no alcohol. I'm like, this sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I haven't seen Mount Zion. That's one of the places I didn't get a chance to see.
Last national park I went to was Yosemite.
Last national park I went to was Sequoia. Unless you
Okay,
include
but going to
driving through
Redwood.
Cleveland National Forest, which I don't count.
I was thinking about going up to the Redwoods next weekend.
I want to go down to Cave Cove again next year if I feel better. I'd like to see more caves. That was beautiful. That natural beauty is just amazing.
Go to Montana for some
Well,
caves.
Eastland, the only one who's been in the military here on the panel is NB. I was the child of two military people. My mom was in the Army. My dad was in the Navy. But I never joined up specifically.
I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, retired out of the Air Force after 16.
For
Father.
life.
Father,
What?
you should take me, the girls, and maybe Jacob to the beach.
Tomorrow? We don't have time.
No, just one day.
What's the water
I'd like to
temperature?
during the summer. Maury definitely wants to go to the beach.
What is the water temperature down there?
What
Doesn't matter.
It does. It does up here because it can be 70 at the beach and the water temperature be 55. So what's the water temperature down there?
Yeah,
I know
he's
it's about
got,
65
a
to
point.
70.
He's got a point, Mike.
This is San Diego. The water rarely goes above 60.
It's been years since I've been down there. Okay, I had to ask, man.
Yeah, no, our beaches, a friend who lives in New York, when I told him we had cold beaches, he was confused.
What?
Well, the water is cold. The beaches themselves, it could be like 110 on the beach, but the water will still be 60 degrees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I told him that we have our ocean is
That's
cold.
because it's the Atlantic and it runs.
No, it's Pacific, dude. Pacific.
Yeah, we get the Pacific. We get the Pacific South. What is it? Southeast current that basically pulls all the cold water from Alaska down the coast.
Yeah, no, again, telling him, oh, yeah, our water is cold. And he's like, what? It's like, yeah.
So,
My water is cold and disgusting.
so funny thing, VileMike, interesting story that you brought this up, Corn. So when I got moved by the military from California to Florida, I had to drive all the way down there. So I went from a dry heat to a humid heat. Trust me, I was not happy about that. We get to our hotel, and there's a pool outside. And we get in the pool. I might as well have been in a bath. The water was so fucking warm.
Oh, NB, she asks, how would you recognize a guy who works in the military is the question. If they're fresh out, one of the easiest ways to tell somebody was in the military is how they stand. If you tell them, if you're just talking to them, in a lot of them will, if they're fresh out, stand in that at the ready, or at ease pose. And it's just like out of reflex. If they aren't doing something with their hands will be clasped behind their back.
Yeah.
Yep, that's about right. Yeah.
Or if you're raised in a military family.
It's when they're fresh out.
And that's what I was going to say, Elihu. I do the same thing sometimes.
Yeah.
Because of my military family.
Yeah, my father was in the Navy. Sometimes I will do that.
No, so when I left the Marine Corps and joined the Air Force, I would go see my superior officers and stuff. And immediately I'd report in and I put my hands behind my back. And they don't look at me weird because I was in the Air Force, not the Marine Corps. And I'm like,
the tyrannical pirate, wannabe god emperor. This panel is no help.
You need to talk to the God Karuga Emperor Birdo Prey.
Yeah, Birdo Prey 5. He might be able to help you. He's the only God Emperor we know of.
Yeah.
I mean, explain a little more. I do a lot of creative writing in my free time. Explain, please. I'll try.
Well, it's kind of type. Henpecking.
so I'm in the Air Force for that time and I'm doing the parade rest thing. And
Your phone, Caddy.
you can go at ease. I'm like, okay, sir. And they couldn't figure out why I was doing things the way I was doing. And until I told them, I was like, I'm a Marine, you're an officer. It's like, I was in the Marine Corps, you're an officer. This is how I'm supposed to act.
Oh.
Hola.
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Yep. Everyone say hi to Mrs. Vile, even though 2 of you already did.
Bye.
Hi, Evertone. Who is Evertone? Who is Evertone?
We love you, buddy.
So, Mike, we need to make her a citizen.
Whenever she decides that she wants to.
What, she still likes Mexico?
Yes. Hold on, I got a helicopter.
Yeah.
Quickly, everyone say the most weird shit while he is muted.
Guten Geben haben Loben.
Springalai.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Dude.
Sorry, I just got a notification from StreamYard saying that whatever is going on with the singing has to stop. It's destroying the sound system.
Yeah, MB. That cat is meowing out here. Okay, stop.
Yeah, I can't carry a tune to save my life.
You need a
Can't
bigger
carry a
basket.
tune in a bucket.
No.
He's got a wicker basket. Everything falls through.
No. My shit's acid. I'm like the face huggers.
Look it up.
You put the acid. Yeah, I don't have a caddy.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. We've been going for about 2 hours, and I have to do a little bit of work today because I decided to turn in early yesterday because I had a headache that I still have. So what should I end the stream with?
Martok.
Better.
The Klingon opera. I love
if you want Martok, we have to go with I think it's either the War Song
You played Worf
or the Dahar Master Song.
No, what was that one that Worf requested?
Klingon opera.
That one's that one I have is Klingon Opera.
Yeah, I love that.
All right, Klingon Opera it is.
Klingons, hoorah! What is that dreadful noise?
And of course, I have to end it with.
Die.
All right, you're 19 years old now. I figure it's about time you got one after all your complaining. All right, I'll see you guys next week, or most likely next week.
Sorry.
And Caddy, I'll see you tomorrow.
Later, weirdos.
Later, folkses.
Bye.
Peace out.